Now, we just talked about political attack ads. Now let's talk about brand ambassadors. Yes, that's a new thing now, really, in terms of what's going on online, whether it's on Facebook or TikTok or Instagram or Twitter. We now have brand ambassadors from the hugest brands. They pay a lump sum, sometimes per tweet or per Instagram message, or for a whole campaign by someone they think is an influencer to promote their brand. Sometimes their choice of influencer leaves a lot to be demanded. I don't know about you. If I were looking to buy a new sports bra, and my goodness me, I need a sports bra, I'd probably be looking for, going out on a crazy limb here, a woman to be advertising that sports bra to me. Why? Because only women have breasts. Well, except for some rather well-endowed fatter gentlemen, perhaps. But Nike has sparked fury after starting a partnership with transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney, who's posed for a series of pictures in leggings and a sports bra on her Instagram page, tagging Nike women while linking to the product's pages. And understandably, quite a lot of people are rather offended by this. Not by a trans woman. Live your life however you want to live your life. But why is a completely flat-chested biological man, still completely intact, by the way, down below, advertising goods which are aimed at women? Well, let's talk about this with Sharron Davies, who's an Olympic medalist swimmer and joins us now. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Julia.
Oh, I mean, you know, another day, another incident. The thing about this, I mean, we've shown some of the still pictures there for people who are watching on TV rather than listening on the radio. A lot of people will have seen this online. I've got no issue with anybody, trans or not trans, earning a living. Well done to you. People who make goods they want to sell to people are entitled to choose who they want to use to sell those items. I just don't understand the thinking that says to women who need a sports bra, like myself, no doubt like yourself, we need a sports bra because we have breasts, because we're women and they need support when we're jumping around. Why they think that we would want to buy a sports bra being advertised to us by a very skinny biological male, because that's what a trans woman is, fully intact down below, wearing leggings, completely flat-chested, saying, these are great sports bras. Why do they think that would make us want to buy their bras?
I don't know. I mean, I think if you watch the video, it's more the parody of an athlete, of a female athlete, which I think a lot of athletes found very offensive when we work so hard to be good at what we do. And obviously we have a sporty body because that's the instrument that we have to use to do our job. Yeah. And then also the fact that, and this is an incredible statistic, Julia, 1% of the US sponsorship sports cash goes to females in America. 1%. So of that 1%, they're now giving it to a transgender woman who's only been transgender for a year. Before that, they earned their money online being a social influencer. And as you say, have just changed nothing. And you know, you're right. You're trying to sell a sports bra to women who use it for support, doing sport. And so I don't think they'd employ me to sell jock straps, would they? So,
but that's the thing. This is, I mean, there are 2 points there. One is, I mean, I don't like to use this term, and again, because I think people might think then it's sort of in some way being insulting. But I think that it is a correct term. It's a man. It's a biological man. Prances. He's prancing man. He's dancing man. It's a parody of a woman. It's mocking women. It's not a celebration of women, and I don't need men to celebrate women, by the way. We can do that for ourselves. It's a mocking parody, and his look, Dylan Mulvaney's look, is that he dresses like, you know, breakfast at Tiffany's.
He talks about Barbie dolls, and he talks about carrying Tampax, you know, and it's this insulting parody. Yeah. And it's like the women are just being erased everywhere at the moment, you know, and it's not happening to men. You know, we're losing the word woman and mother, and it's being replaced, and it only seems to be going one way. So I think it's just about time. The only thing that we have left to fight back with, it seems at the moment, is our wallets. So if you go, well, these companies are really being offensive, let's just not buy it. So this kind of has blown up a lot more than I expected it to, because I just made a throwaway comment about saying, well, this is our tool that we have left, it's our purse. Don't spend your money on Nike, spend it on something else, because
they've absolutely lost my money. And yes, I do spend my money on sports gear. I know it doesn't look like it, but I do. But this is the thing I find extraordinary, is it doesn't happen to men. I tweeted out yesterday, you know, genuine question. When does this happen with men? When have we seen a trans man, i.e. a woman, advertising goods to men. And you just don't see it. Lots of people cited, oh, we've had the Gillette ad. No, the Gillette ad was about toxic masculinity. Do you know what happened? Do you know what happened to their sales? They plummeted because men went, stop telling us there's something wrong with us. It was horrible ad.
It was a huge commercial mistake. And that's what I think we'd like to see with this, is just to tell companies that this is a huge commercial mistake. Please don't think that you can just, you know, insult women and think that it's okay. It almost feels sometimes that we're just being laughed at. And particularly athletes who, you know, really have worked very hard and take an awful lot of insults because they get referred to as being strong and, you know, masculine physique, and that's what we have to. We have to build a strong body to do our sport. Yeah. So it just, that's the way that it felt. So as I said, it really kind of blew up into something I wasn't expecting. It's been a very interesting weekend, and I will just keep on fighting for fair sport. But I honestly thought, as a sports person, that this really was not to be tolerated. And if we can do something about it, but not spending our money on night, then fair enough.
Well, that's the thing. It is crucial. And again, I know, you know, Bud Light. This trans influencer Dylan Mulvaney has also advertised at Bud Light. I mean, I'm going to use the word beer in its loosest. It's a trans beer, basically, because it isn't really beer. And again, their sales have completely collapsed. There was just this idea that this is all cool and wonderful and everyone's up for it. But again, I think it's interesting. They don't try and do it to men as a general rule because men won't put up with it. They're not worried about, oh, I need to be a nice person. You can call them whatever name you want. And I always knew that was how we were going to tackle the issue of fairness in sport. Once dads realised that their daughters were never going to win a sports match ever again of any sort, or win a medal because of boys being able to compete in their races and on their netball team or hockey team or football team, that was when dads went, yeah, that's not going to happen, ain't going to fly with me. Mums, I'm afraid, women often too worried about making enemies and, oh, you've got to be a nice person. Well, no, but let's talk about fairness. Fairness is what's nice.
I know. There was an amazing statistic that came out the weekend. We were just talking about cycling, and cycling is one of the most misogynistic sports around. But, you know, British cycling in this country have been absolutely horrendous at supporting female cyclists. Yeah. 45 male athletes in elite cycling in the world. That's just in elite cycling. That's not going all the way down, you know, to different Sunday races and all the rest of it. It's just elite. 45 male cyclists at the moment taking places away from females in elite cycling.
Wait, no, but Sharron, we keep being told there's only a handful of people. It's not an issue. Why are you being so horrible and transphobic?
There really isn't. There is a lot, an awful, and obviously the more that it goes on, the more, you know, every single day there are a lot more. So let's
call them what they are: failed male athletes, cheats. That's what they are.
Well, they're allowed to, at the moment, it's legalised cheating, isn't it? You know, that they aren't breaking any rules, but they are enabling them to go into a race with a known advantage. And to me, that is cheating.
Absolutely. Can I also ask you about, you know, we talked about, you know, why do they do this with women but not with men's goods? And we see this again and again. And again, even when it's the NHS and it's sort of, you know, it's women, you know, people with cervixes, birthing people, you know, chest feeders, as opposed to women. You don't see any you know, campaigns for testicular cancer, not mentioning the word man. But it's really interesting. I hadn't realised this. There's a thing called the Corporate Equality Index, and this rates American businesses. A lot of these brands are big American businesses, according to how woke they are in issues like, sorry, you know, gender identity, sexual orientation, and it's overseen by an LGBTQ+, I hate this, political lobbying group called the Human Rights Campaign. And basically, you are rated and you are assessed according to sort of, you know, how much you basically, you know, do things like promote trans identity online. Is, you know, you think like, well, why are they doing this? They're going to lose business. They do it because actually they worry that they will lose business if they don't get this high rating as being a, you know, a good woke company. But the thing is, we need to, as we were saying a bit earlier, we need to counter that by showing that we are not willing to put up with it. You can be trans, you can live your life, you can advertise whatever good you want, but don't tell me as a woman that I need to be advertised to by a man pretending to be a woman, prancing around in a pitiful, I mean, you know, mockery of what a woman is.
Yeah, we've had the same issue here with Stonewall Champions, haven't we, with companies? You know, you'll be very aware of it. You know, you walk into any bank or whatever and they're flying flags all over the place. And it has got to the point now that actually it becomes quite intimidating. You almost feel like you're not welcome anymore, you know? So I just think that it's the virtual signalling era that we seem to be in, which is just weird. And you know, you know my background. You know, I've had the whole GDR situation, but also, you know, I have mixed race kids, and you know, I couldn't be more anti-racist. Yep. But I get called a racist constantly, and the labels that I get called just to try to shut me up. You know, so this thing about be kind again, it really is only one way. I mean, the abuse that I've had this weekend from the transgender community for literally just saying, I would like fair sport and I would like female products to be advertised by females, particularly when it's about anatomy. You know, and I just don't know that that's unreasonable.
No,
I mean,
the key thing is, Sharron, you know that you are speaking for the majority of the population and certainly the majority of women. And if we didn't have heroes like you taking, unfortunately, a lot of that abuse, we wouldn't have anyone speaking out for us. You know you're a hero to me. I mean, and seriously, tweet Sharron right now. You can find it easily on Twitter and get in touch and tell her your support, because what you do is so important.
You're amazing online, Julia. Honestly, I've had so much support. It's been incredible. And I have a daughter and I have a granddaughter, and I will keep on fighting. Yeah. I promise.
Absolutely. Don't you dare stop. then you'll be getting trouble from me online. 8:43 is the time. A really big thanks, Sharron Davies, there, Olympic and medalist swimmer. Should have been a gold medalist, by the way, but of course, competing against women pumped with male hormones, which helped them win. Amazing, that.